Hey buds, welcome back to another Happy Chuck programming video. In today's video, I will show you how to animate your ragdoll. Before we get started, however, if you are using a custom model for your ragdoll, maybe from the asset store or you made it yourself in Blender, then it's better to have a pre-made animation, just a normal animation for walking or running or whatever animation you want to use. It's better to have a pre-made animation from Blender or if you got it from the asset store. So yeah, let's get started. So I think it was in the second episode where I taught y'all how to make a ragdoll balance, and the way we did that is by going to each of our limbs and we applied a position spring for the angular X and angular YZ drive, and this allowed the limbs to have a drive towards this target rotation. We kept the target rotation at 0 for everything, and that's why whenever we click play, even though the ragdoll is affected by physics, all the limbs are always trying to go back to the T-pose positions. That's what we're gonna do today to animate our ragdoll. We're gonna constantly change the target rotations so that we can make the ragdoll look like it's walking, but it will still be affected by physics. So yeah, let's get started. Now the reason why I wanted y'all to already have a pre-made animation is because the way we're gonna do this is by duplicating our model for our ragdoll and deleting all the joints from that model, and then we're gonna apply the animations that we already have to that model. So whenever that model is playing the animations, the ragdoll will be changing its target rotations to the rotations of the limbs in the animated model. So the ragdoll always looks like it's walking or doing whatever animation you want. So yeah, let's get started, and the first thing I'm gonna do, duplicate my ragdoll, and I'm gonna call it the target animation model. Let me move it to the right, and I will color code this using this material. So the animation model is orange and the normal ragdoll is green. So the next step is to delete all of our joints and scripts from the limbs of our model, because we just want it to be a mesh, just a normal mesh. So now when we click play, our ragdoll falls and is affected by physics, but our model is just a model. So now what the problem is that our ragdoll, even though the limbs aren't really parented to each other, they are still connected by configurable joints. So that's why whenever you change the target rotation of the shoulders, the arm will also move down or up because it's connected to the shoulder. The problem with our model now is that whenever you rotate the shoulders, the arm will rotate as well. So what we need to do is parent the limbs together. So if you go back to your normal ragdoll, you can see that the head is connected to the torso is connected to the stomach, and the stomach is connected to the hips. So go back to your animation model, and that's exactly what we're gonna do, except we're gonna do it by dragging the head inside the torso inside the stomach, and the stomach inside the hips. So that means if you rotate the stomach, everything else rotates with it. So now I will just repeat this process for all of the other limbs. Okay, so I've parented the limbs together, and as you can see, if I rotate the left shoulder, the arm and hands rotate with it as well. Just like in real life and just like what the ragdoll does. So now animating this model will be a lot easier and will work correctly. Obviously, if you have an imported model from Blender with animations, you probably don't have to do this step because I think the Blender already parents them together if you make an armature. But if you're making a ragdoll, you have to unparent them and connect them by configurable joints. But anyways, let's keep moving along and let's apply our animations. So I already have an animator controller and a walk animation. So I just need to drag this in. So I'm just gonna select my model and add the animator component to it and drag in my animator controller. And now I'll go to my animator and just check if my walk animation is connected to the entry. So let's just keep continuing. So now if I click play, this is my walk animation for my model. Obviously it's just a simple walk animation. So yeah, now all we have to do is make the normal ragdoll copy the model. So we're gonna make a script for that, and we're just gonna constantly change the target rotations to the rotations of the shoulders, upper legs, and basically rotation points of the body. And what I mean by rotation points is that we don't need to apply our script to this arm because the arm isn't animated. The arm is just connected to the shoulder, and that's the rotation point. That's what's actually animated. And in fact, I've actually tried it before and it glitches out a lot. So just apply the script to the rotation points of your body. But obviously I haven't even made the script yet. So now let's make the script. So go to your ragdoll, your normal ragdoll, select all of your limbs, all of them, click add component, and I'm gonna make a script called copy motion. Okay, so Visual Studio has opened, and let's get started with the copy motion script. So this script will be applied to all of the limbs in the normal ragdoll. So I'm gonna make a few references. So the first one's gonna be a public transform target limb. So since we're gonna be applying the script to all of the limbs, each limb needs to know what limb of the model that they are gonna follow. So that's what I mean by target limb. Now a configurable joint reference, so because we need to get the configurable joints of the limbs, and I'm just gonna call it CJ. So in the start function, I'll do CJ equals get component configurable joint, and then in our update function, we will just do CJ dot target rotation equals target limb dot rotation. So the configurable joints target rotation, every frame will equal to the rotation of the limb that it needs to follow. Yeah, I know, that's all it is. Very easy. Okay, I saved the script and I'm back to the Unity editor. And now is the moment of truth. But actually it isn't, because I realized that you have to first tell the limbs of what limb they are gonna follow. So select your head, go to the copy motion script and just drag in head for the target limb. So you just want to repeat this process for all of your limbs of your normal ragdoll. So you just select a limb and drag in the corresponding limb of the model. Okay, so hopefully I did everything correctly. So I've dragged in all the limbs from the model to the target limbs for the copy motion script. So head to head, torso to torso. Yeah. So now is the actual moment of truth. Let's click play and see what happens. And it didn't work. Okay, so the reason why it didn't work is because, like I said, you only want to apply the copy motion script to the rotation points of your body. So that means the only rotation points of my body are the head, the torso, the stomach, the hips, the shoulders, and the upper legs. That's it. And the reason why this is because all the limbs are connected to each other, so that whenever you rotate the shoulders, the arms are connected to it. So that's why whenever we click play, even though we only animated the shoulders and upper legs of our model, the arms are still connected. So that's why everything looks like it's walking. So what I'm gonna do is go to my normal ragdoll, select the upper arm, the lower arm, the left hand, the lower arm and the right hand, the lower leg and right foot, and the other lower leg and left foot. And I'm just gonna delete the copy motion script from it. And that's it. So that should fix it now. And now, another moment of truth. So click play. And so our ragdoll is celebrating, but not really walking. I don't really know why this is. I think how we can fix this though is by going to our upper arms, and I think if we go to our copy motion script, make a public bool mirror, so this will just make the target rotation inverse. So if it's not mirrored, then we will copy the rotation normally. But if we do want the rotation to be inversed, we can just do cj.targetRotation equals quaternion dot inverse target limb dot rotation. And now if we go back to our editor, select your upper arms, check the mirror option, and if we click play, there we go. Alright, so the last thing I want to do is slow down our walk animation so that it doesn't look like the body is just facing left and right, and I don't really know what it's doing. So what we can do is just make our walk animation slower. And there we go. So as you can see, our ragdoll is successfully copying our model, and the good thing is, if I wobble it around, the limbs are still affected by physics. So yeah, that is how you animate your ragdoll. And you can even go a step further from this and make yourself a player controller, so that whenever you click W, then that's when the animation on the model will start playing. But I will do that in future videos. So yeah, that's how you animate your ragdoll. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.